pretty much exactly what we're looking for, is little areas like this where we could catch a bunch of smallmouth without even moving the boat. And see if there's another one that I could snag up in this freaking pile of brush right here. It's like, and all of a sudden it just goes, tugs back. Like right there, like stuck in brush, 100%. Come on, eat it now. There we go, it's time to eat. No. Dude, I'm not even kidding you. I'm literally not even kidding you. You cannot write that down in a storybook right there. How is it going, guys? Bass and Bill 96 here, and today we are fishing for some fall river smallmouth with Benjamin Nowak right here. So if you guys have saw, it's probably been posted before this video, but yesterday Ben put me on the biggest bag of smallmouth that I've ever seen in my life, ever caught in my life, and honestly I barely even knew that that was possible. Like, you see giant bags of smallmouth, but like you don't really understand until you've seen them in person, and we cracked 25 pounds of smallmouth. So if you want to see some giant smallmouth, go check that video out and go check out this man's channel because he's catching even bigger ones than that sometimes. But today we're fishing for slightly smaller smallmouth. Hopefully we still stick some good ones, and we're going to be using some different river tactics. So today we're going to be fishing shallow using Ned rigs, crankbait, stuff like that, but there's a lot of current in this river, and from what Ben tells me, there are a ton of smallmouth, so we should get into a lot of numbers today. So stay tuned, guys, and hopefully we get on some mega schools of smallies or something. So let's go start catching some fish. On the Sakoshi, the old Ned rig pulls through like always. Fish eat Ned rigs all year long, forever and ever. First fish of the day for me. Ben caught a little one and he threw off one about this size, which I guess is still a little one, but she's in the boat. She's a solid little pound fish, not bad. Chunky little fish, and she absolutely munched on that little Sakoshi bug. Nice little late fall smallmouth, mid-fall smallie, right there, right in the mix of things. See you later, girl. Throw in this little Sakoshi bug, and basically, oh, Ben's got that, but it's really weird. This river kind of splits off into two, and there's current coming from both ways, and it's kind of converging around this point. And I just chucked this thing down there, right in the mix of things, and she liked it. She liked it a lot. Just like immediately in a snag. Got one. That one is better. Not a big one, I'm sure, but oh yeah, that's a good fish.
Did it come off?
Snapped off.
Oh no.
On the freaking Sakoshi bug. And you know what? 100% my fault, because I literally had a nick from being stuck with it. Oh Christ. It's like a 2.5 pounder. So what just happened there, guys, is I was snagged over near that piling and I had a tiny little minuscule nick in my line. And Ben told me that most of the smallmouth in this river, they're not that big. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna catch a pound smallmouth that's not gonna be affected by having nicks in my line or anything. And then the very next fish I hook is a nice sized smallmouth, of course, and you guys saw the rest. That was on the old Sakoshi bug. We're gonna rig up another one and hopefully catch some more fish. That was also right in the exact spot that I caught that other fish too, so there must be maybe a tiny little lot of them right there. The only problem with fishing Ned rigs and rivers is it makes me want to shoot myself. If a fish ate it off of the thing, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm sitting there trying to pop it out of the snag and then a fish just eats it. Yeah, that's a decent little dude. It's smaller than the one I snapped off, but we'll take her. That was a very cool way to catch a fish. Literally was stuck on some sort of a rock or some sort of brush down there, guys, and I'm literally sitting there trying to snap it off, and this fish is like, you know what, that looks friggin' tasty. And she picked up that Sakoshi bug just like that. Nice little 14-inch smallmouth once again. Okay, very interesting. Was not expecting that at all, so that's very cool. So we'll get that fish back in the water and hopefully catch some more, but that was 3 fish right off this spot right here, along with like 1 or 2 other missed bites too. So a lot of fish stacked up. That tends to be what they do in the fall, so that's pretty much exactly what we're looking for, is little areas like this where we could catch a bunch of smallmouth without even moving the boat. But we're gonna get this old Sakoshi back out there and see if there's another one that I could snag up in this freaking pile of brush right here. Goofy. It's like, and all of a sudden it just goes,
so
tugs back. Like right there, like stuck in brush, 100%. Come on, eat it now. There we go, it's time to eat.
no.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you. I'm literally not even kidding you. You cannot write that down in a storybook right there. I was so joking right there. And that fish did the same thing. Are you freaking kidding me? All right, the key today, boys, is you want to get yourself snagged and then you just violently shake your rod until a fish eats it off of the snag. That's a good one right there, dude. What? Are you kidding me? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Okay, okay. Dude, there we go. Another good smallmouth. She's missing a lot of her gill right there. But, yeah, literally could not write that down in the storybook. There's no way I could recreate that a third time, you think? Third time's the charm, you think?
You gotta try it.
I gotta try it. Alrighty, so best one of the day, probably like a little 1.5 pound or so, 15-inch smallmouth. A ton of fun to fight on that spinning rod though. And in one of the most bizarre ways that I've ever consistently caught 2 bass in a row, I can tell you that much. And we're gonna go for third time's a charm. I don't know if it'll work, but we gotta try it. Gotta go let this Mr. Sakoshi find that brush pile one more time and see if we can make some magic happen. It's literally, there's literally some tree like sitting like somewhere right about there. You gotta get, here, Ben's gonna try. Dude, they're loaded up right there. All right, we're in the snag, boys. All right,
Oh, come on.
Here we go, we're in the snag. She didn't need it. Yeah, I really wasn't that time. It popped out immediately. You gotta really wedge it in there. So then the fish, you know, they see it struggling a lot. If you're just like, if it pops right out, they're like, oh, that's a free crawfish. I don't want to try to get that one. But if you imprison it within the brush pile and then shake it around violently, that's when you're gonna get your bites, boys and girls. That's when you're gonna get the bites. It's lights out. Lights out. All right, we're stuck. Perfect. Just the way I like it. There's no way. That is the goofiest thing I've ever seen, literally. For it to happen twice, too.
Back to back.
Back to back cast, like so messing around so much and just dunk. That's crazy.
Dude, no.
They're loaded right there, Ben. They're loaded right there. Oh my gosh. That one was right after I popped it out. It wasn't like in the brush pile. It wasn't in the brush pile, but popped it out and then she ate it. Did you get hit?
I don't know.
Maybe. Dude, oh my gosh, they're freaking stacked up on that current seam. Little guy right there, but we'll take her. We are terrorizing them right now. Literally making the same cast over and over again. This is how smallmouth fishing is supposed to be. Spot number 1 kind of dried up. I was getting snagged and no fish were eating it out of the snags anymore, so we had to make some moves. Can't get it to go. I started a long time. I don't know when you started. Oh, whoa. Is that a fish? Yeah, it is. It literally ate it off the surface. I literally cast it out with like a backlash and I just had a fish on. Dude, what just happened? Why are the dumbest things happening to me today? It's like not a bad one either. It's another like 14-incher. Holy smokes. Oh, of course I both flipped him right on all of Ben's stuff here. Dude, I literally was like, is that a fish? That's a fish right there, dude. Oh my gosh. That's goofy. Little KVD 1.5 square bill, and Ben told me we're fishing some little sand ridges or something here. He said, chuck it out in the middle of the river, and apparently they're out there, and they want a topwater. Yum. Oh yeah. Finally we stick one. Got about 100 bites in the spot. It's a decent little guy. Decent little dude. We switched up and started throwing some jigs. I actually just caught one off camera because I'm an idiot, but probably a little bit smaller than the one Ben's got. I think he's got the biggest one of the day so far. But switched up to jigs to try to catch a bigger fish, and obviously worked for that one. Nice little, probably almost 16-incher. Wow, a little stocky too. But we're fishing this little retaining wall, and I'm fishing this little chompers with a Zoom speed craw. What are you throwing on there?
A little black and blue jig.
3-inch jigger.
Berkeley jigger craw.
3-inch jigger craw. Got it done.
Got it done.
Nice little fish. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you were about to say it was a big one. Oh! it is a nice one. She was just running with the current, huh? You gonna boat flip that girl? Oh yeah, that's a chunk right there. Oh, doubled up. I'm in the same boat. It feels like small because it's with the current, but it might be a okay one. Who knows? Oh yeah, there she goes. She's taking a turn. Oh, mine is a little though. Mine's a little. Well, we just doubled up on a not so big one and a pretty solid river fish right there for Ben. Mine's literally like maybe 12 inches, so we'll chuck her back in, but that's a solid chunk right there. Okay, so that's how we're gonna end today's video, and as you can see up here in Michigan, it is snowing outside. Actually, maybe you guys can't see it because it's kind of washed out, but it's freezing up here in Michigan, and the fishing time is running out. I actually went fishing yesterday, and we only caught like 5 or 6 bass. Definitely not the best day I've ever had on the water, but this day with Ben was an awesome time, and that was probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago when it wasn't quite as cold outside. But thank you guys for watching today's video. There is going to be more. This is only part 1 to this video because we caught so many fish. I'm going to split it up into 2 different videos. So if you don't want to miss that next one, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And also, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button as well. But I will catch you guys in the next one.